Fellow INFJ man, do people assume they know you when they really don't? For every 100 people, one of them is an INFJ man. Maybe. That makes me wonder, have you dealt with these 7 popular misconceptions about you as a man? Before we get to the 7 misconceptions, I have a free gift for you called the INFJ Personality Guide. I wrote it this summer, and so far the people who have read it have really enjoyed it, and I'd love for you to have a copy. In it, I explain how you're not broken or messed up, but just different, and you have unique and valuable gifts to offer the world. Although you may hear the opposite message, the truth is this world needs you. And in this guide, you'll better understand your unique preferences and the mindsets that drive you. You'll also learn some common INFJ challenges and sticking points and how to overcome them, as well as how to better reach your potential and live a life of purpose that you're excited about. So you can grab a copy of this by texting the letters INFJ to the number 444999 or visit the link ispeakpeople.com/INFJ-personality-guide, and you can download a copy free of charge. I'm selling this on Amazon, but I'd love for you to have it for free, so grab it while you still can. The first thing people get wrong about you as an INFJ male is that they assume that you lack emotional intelligence. Most men are socialized to be thinkers and logical, and you are both those things. You're a logical thinker, but you are also in tune with what other people are thinking and feeling. Now, I'm not calling you emotional or a woman or whatever. I'm just saying that you're really good at picking up on what other people are thinking and feeling and adapting your conversation and your input to connect with the person with whom you're speaking. So that's a gift most other guys don't have, although other guys do have that. And it breaks the cultural stereotype because most of us are socialized to be thinkers and to not understand other people's emotions. So that's one thing a lot of people get wrong about you. The second thing that people get wrong about you as an INFJ male is they expect you to want to dominate others. When I was in high school, I played basketball and volleyball, and my coaches were always telling me to go out there and want the ball and to destroy the competition. And I don't think they meant that literally, but they were really competitive, so much so that they forgot about the other people altogether. At least that's how I felt about it. And one person I knew was encouraging me when I played volleyball to spike the ball into someone else's nose and make it bleed. Somehow he thought that would be a source of great joy if I were to give another guy a bruise or whatever. And I'm all for competition, but that just wasn't in my nature. And as much as I tried to want to, I don't know, quote unquote, destroy other people, I could never get myself to do it. So while we can be competitive, we don't really derive joy from beating others up. Another thing that people get wrong about you is they assume you want to talk about sports and the weather. Now, like all people, we're human and we enjoy things like sports and the weather, but most of us don't want to stop there. The real meat, the real stuff that brings joy is to get to a conversation of depth, one where we're talking about meaning and purpose and things that really matter. For example, I would like to talk about helping people reach their potential much more than I'd enjoy talking about the pattern of thunderstorms and how they're moving over a map. Or I'd love to talk about what makes different people tick more than I'd like to talk about whether or not the Spurs won last night. Now, again, I'm kind of a basketball junkie. I really do enjoy playing sports, so that can change for different dudes. And maybe you're into meteorology, but I'd say far and above, we'd much rather talk about a meaty conversation that's personal and that has the potential to help someone else or ourselves grow than we would like to talk about superficial things so much or things that are day to day. And this gets at the difference between sensing and intuition, because most guys, just based on statistics, are sensors. About 73% of all people are sensors. And the minority are intuitives. And you as an INFJ male are a dominant intuitive. So that definitely puts you in the minority, and your longing for depth is a reflection of that. All right, number 4, people expect your mood to be stable. And this again connects to the sensor intuitive difference. You as an intuitive, like most intuitives, are volatile. And again, you're a dominant intuitive, so you're really prone to highs and lows. And when I understood this about myself, it helped me relax quite a bit because I thought I was pretty messed up. So don't get discouraged if you have times of high excitement and creativity and then other times of discouragement and lows. It's completely normal. But other people are going to be a bit confused about that because they'll expect you, like a lot of sensor guys, to just be steady no matter what and be able to bounce back really quick. And you can bounce back, but it might take you a little bit longer, and you're going to have bursts of energy rather than steadiness so much. So that's definitely a different, and one that a lot of people attribute to women, but that isn't necessarily the case because it's more of a sensor intuition difference. INFJ guys, like all INFJs, are hard to get to know. We tend to really open up with people that we trust and care about and have built a relationship with for a long time, or who just intuitively we know we can trust right off the bat. So the face that you show most people is your outward persona, and as a result, most people only get to catch the surface of who you really are. I love the analogy of an iceberg. When you look at an iceberg, you really only see 10% of the gigantic, maybe island-sized mass lurking below the surface. And that's kind of the way an INFJ is. When you finally trust somebody, you really open up and pour out the depths of your soul, depending on how close you are, and they really get to see the real you. But what others see might be a calm, patient, considerate, stable, thoughtful person, to name a few describers, a few adjectives, a few modifiers. But while that's part of you, that's not the full you. They don't know who you really are. You're usually presenting the socially acceptable you. And at least that's what I'm doing. That's what I do most of the time. But it's only when someone you really trust comes along that you're willing to open up and share who you actually are. And deep down inside, that's what we really want, for people to get us for who we are. The 6th thing people get wrong about you is they'll expect you to be a motorhead and a handyman. But you as an INFJ will always be better at asking the big, deep questions and understanding why, helping people grow and thinking in creative ways that break the mold. Like anybody else, INFJs can learn to work with their hands. They can learn to work on cars. They can learn to fix things. But it'll never be a great strength or source of ultimate joy, especially when you have to do it for long hours. That's why when my wife and I bought a house, I tried to make it really clear to her that we should find something that doesn't need a lot of repairs, because I can watch videos on YouTube and I can read books and I can figure that stuff out because I love to learn, but I'm never going to be great at fixing things with my hand. I'm better at coming up with the ideas in my mind. So that's something that people will probably get wrong about you. They'll assume you're like most other guys and miss the real strengths that you have to offer the world. Finally, people are going to expect that you enjoy being around mobs of people and loud music, and that's just not the case. I've learned that my favorite places are the quiet, reflective ones, the library, the nature scene outdoors by the river where there may only be a hiker or two beside me, or just a long, quiet car ride with room to think. Those are my favorite places. Now, I do enjoy people, and I do go to a party every once in a while, and they're okay, but I can't take it for too long. I need the calm to think, and too much stimulation overwhelms me. And I think that's because a lot of INFJ guys are highly sensitive people, and I didn't get this for the longest time. Going back to a basketball analogy, I used to really enjoy playing basketball with my friends and pick up games when there was nobody watching. But whenever I'd get in front of a crowd, I'd like completely shut down because it was just way too much stimulation to function. In order to play my best, I had to be in a setting where there was really just the other team and my teammates. And that I enjoyed. Maybe you've experienced the same thing, being at a party or just in a room with a lot of loud music and a lot of people talking. It's kind of debilitating. So that's one thing that makes you different than a lot of other guys that people get wrong. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you haven't yet hit the big red subscribe button, make sure that you do that now. I'm going to be putting out new INFJ content that hopefully will benefit you and enrich your life. And if you didn't grab a copy of the INFJ personality guide, don't forget to do that. Just text the letters INFJ to the number 444999. And you can also grab a copy of the guide by visiting the link, which I'll post in the description below. See you next time.